Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. You also may now know me as the chocolate guy cleaning his house. So my wife posted a TikTok of me cleaning the house after trying some of this like Alice chocolate stuff. And we were just kind of dialed in cleaning the house, and she made a funny TikTok of it. It got 3 million views. And it's more popular than anything I've ever done in my entire YouTube career. But it was funny watching these worlds merge of like TikTok, which I just don't do. And then my audience fighting me over there, being like, what? This is like the most random Matty poll of all time. But yes, that is me. And so these people who are coming over TikTok are going to be mighty disappointed. They're like, this guy's talking about a 10-year-old RPG today. But nonetheless, thought it was hilarious. And just wanted to go ahead and shout that out before we get started, get into business today, because what we're diving into today, ladies and gentlemen, is an interesting Fallout update. It comes by way of my good friend Juicehead. Now, Juice posted a video about a week ago now, and I can't believe I completely missed it, but in that video, he talks about Fallout 4 getting another new update, and it's a claim he's making, and it's definitely what he calls a trust me bro type of thing, but he did verify with other sources before. Now, as someone who's a friend of Juicehead's, I'll go out on a limb and believe him, because I've talked to him many times in the past, and I know he is privy to information, honestly, even more than me when it comes to the Bethesda stuff. A lot of people always think I have like a Bethesda insider or something. I have never once in my entire life had a Bethesda insider. It's funny to think about with how much I cover their games that this would maybe be the case, but it's not. So I would go out on a limb and believe Juicehead. And with that, we're talking about a new Fallout 4 update. We're talking about what's coming to 76. We're talking about Fallout Season 2. There's a lot on the way for Fallout this year, though many people aren't really thinking about it this way right now. Can be a huge year for Fallout, excluding even things like we're expecting with the Fallout 3 remaster. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into Juicehead's leak. I'll have his video linked down below if you want to check out in full. But if you're new here and you're into Fallout, or I guess Alice chocolate, consider subscribing. All right, let's get things kicked off. What's the Juicehead claim here? It's that Fallout 4 is getting another brand new update. So last year, we got the next gen update. Bethesda broke the game. They did like one bug fix. It's still pretty jank, at least on PC. And then they moved on. They focused on things like Shattered Space. And so now Bethesda's coming back around here. And the big problem with leaving this game so broken is that one of the most popular mods for Fallout 4 nowadays is to roll back the Fallout 4 version to before the next gen update. This also will cause mod compatibility issues again. And since Fallout 4 is a 10-plus-year-old game, this means it's going to be a little complicated for mod authors who have moved on and prioritized going and doing other things in their life. But Bethesda's looking to make you money, so maybe people are interested in coming back. Let's talk. So he says sometime in Q4 that Bethesda will be dropping a new Fallout 4 update. There is movement on SteamDB, which we can see for ourselves. But interestingly, it picked up this summer, and also Fallout 4's press build is getting updates. That's a pretty much dead giveaway, excluding, oh, I don't like Juicehead, I don't believe him, or whatever the hell you want to say. When a press build is getting updates, they're testing something for release. And I believe what's happening here is something Juicehead also suggests, which is when Skyrim was getting its Creations update, there was a lot of movement on SteamDB, a lot of testing before it finally came out over there. You have Starfield with Creations, old-ass Skyrim with Creations. Fallout 4 is now the odd man out, despite how popular it is. And by Creations, yes, I mean, what Juicehead is claiming is part of this update is the paid mods system. Now, after I've spoken with some mod authors, and I've also seen the quality of some content coming after it, I have wavered a little bit on my stance of Creation Club. Like, I totally respect why people are saying, screw this, I don't like it. But when I see people making careers off of it, and when I'm talking to teams that are putting lots of money into these mods and making them better than they've ever been, they feel more official than they've ever been, more polished than they've ever been, and they're on timelines that are more realistic and not just years upon years upon years because everyone's doing it as a hobby, I have softened a bit, especially when I play DLC basically from teams like Kingath Creations, who's responsible for Watchtower in Starfield, or the Bard's College expansion in Skyrim. And the Bard's College expansion is like one of the most important mods ever, because you could really argue this isn't just a paid mod. Like, this is straight up official DLC. It builds off naturally of the in-game lore. It's got some of the old voice actors back to reprise their roles. Like, it goes all the way, and it's $10. It's perfect in every single way. It's the ideal paid mod. So I know some people go, well, I don't care when they hear that, and I totally get and respect that. I do have my issues with it because there is some recycled content. A lot of people take advantage of the system, break the rules. I hate that stuff. Those who are already lead modders in the scene are doing, I think, great work with it and getting great opportunities, and more importantly, getting paid. Hopefully this means that it's also going to enable maybe more bigger creations. Remember when this program first started, it was small fry, which is why we all didn't like it. We were getting like a knife for $5. And so now things are becoming more ambitious. I hope Fallout 4 is a beneficiary of that. But I do wonder if modders are testing this system in advance, and they already did a similar thing for Skyrim, where modders were testing that creation system in advance. That likely means content will be ready to go at the launch of this system, like brand new content. And this is where we start to get into the broader spectrum of Fallout, because Season 2 is scheduled to arrive December of this year, which I still can't believe. I mean, what a perfect time, too. Like, I'm so excited to coast into Christmas time watching some Fallout. Are you kidding me? That's going to be incredible. So will some of this new content from modders follow that? I'm very interested to see what's happening. Ultimately, though, if I get away from the new content brain for a moment and just think logically, God, I hope they just fix the game. I hate to be even saying that. Fallout 4 was fine, but then they broke it, and now people are rolling back to the original version, and people's mods are going to break again. And I always say to Bethesda, like, I can live with it. You just got to make it worth it. As in, if you're going to touch the thing, you can't break the thing. I think of that scene from SpongeBob where, you know, Patrick's like, touch, don't touch. Like, that's the vibe I get from all of this here. So I'm hoping if Bethesda decides to touch this, make it worth it. But like I said, it's all funneling into Season 2. What we saw after Season 1 of the Fallout TV show was a massive boom across the Fallout franchise. And Bethesda, in a lot of ways, was caught flat-footed with that. I don't think they really understood what they had, and I don't think anyone in either Microsoft or Bethesda proper understands how much we love Fallout until now. Now I think they get it. But before that, I don't think they understood how beloved and how truly popular, how global this franchise was until that TV show hit and people were jumping into Fallout 4 and 76, although there were like no new updates planned for these games, and they were seeing incredible player counts way beyond what they had ever had before. So I imagine this update will be synchronized with one of 3 dates, right? There's the Bombs Drop Day, which Bethesda hosted a stream on last year. That's a great place to announce we're doing more for Fallout 4. There's also Fallout 4's 10-year anniversary today. We did do a Fallout 4 10 years later retrospective on this channel to open up this year. And then there's, of course, Season 2 itself to kind of launch it with that and surge people into Fallout 4 is a good play too. But there's a lot of places Bethesda can actually announce and release something for Fallout 4. Personally, I would say keep your eyes on the Fallout Day stream. That seems to be the place that Bethesda was locking in for some announcements. And last year, they used that to announce some stuff for 76. Overall, the stream format and what they're trying to do with Fallout is exciting. I just thought the stream itself and the content there wasn't too exciting, but this year I think it can actually be a pretty good one. So now let's get into 76, because that's the other quadrant of big things happening in the Fallout franchise. This all really started when Paris Lilly interviewed John Rush, who's the creative director for Fallout 76 right now, and John claimed that 76 is about to get its biggest update ever. This is a significant claim because I, and Juicehead mentions the same thing in his video, believe the biggest update to ever hit 76 by a country mile was Wastelanders. This had like a full 20-hour voice story, quests, loot. It restructured the entire map to put non-hostile NPCs in all these different places that you could talk to, interact with, sometimes get quests from. Like, all of that was done, and for free, by the way. So that was already an insane feat, but it was necessary because 76 was in a weak spot. This gave the product hope. To say we have our biggest update ever on the way is exciting because Wastelanders, like, there hasn't been anything for the game like that since then. Everything's been of a decent size, but it's been bit by bit. But here's why I think what John is claiming isn't just empty hype, but also a real possibility. And it goes back to the TV show. 76 currently has its biggest player count ever and is likely making more money than ever thanks to the surge in attention and, let's be honest, hype it received after the Fallout TV show. So it makes sense that 76, which we need to add in here, was the biggest beneficiary of the TV show. Like, more than Fallout 4, more than 3, and yes, even more than our precious New Vegas, more than any of them, 76 was the biggest beneficiary. And while that may break some hearts out there, I mean, hey, I'd love to see my Fallout 4 get like a new piece of official DLC in response to all of this. But look, business would necessitate, let's inject some cash into this thing and see how many more players we can bring into a live product that's doing well and has really found its place with a lot of people. So I think if they're going to swing big, they now know a big bump is coming. Last year, they got a big bump in everything and they had nothing ready. This year, Season 2 is happening, and if Season 2 is great and it does that same thing that brings players back into Fallout, having 76 be ready with something really exciting is a great idea. So Too Long Didn't Read, Bethesda knows what this show can do for the games now, and they're basically putting stuff in that's going to make them money, right? So, oh, we know people are going to go to Fallout 4 after the TV show, and some people have already played Fallout 4 a lot. I'll raise my hand for that one. Okay. So let's give them new stuff to play. They go into the creations, they buy stuff. You watching this may be like, that's not going to be me. But look, a lot of people buy creations. That is the one thing that a lot of folks don't register. People are making careers off of creations right now. And so I don't know who's doing it, but I kind of view it a lot like how Mario Kart Deluxe kept hitting the top NPD charts for months after the game came out. I'm like, someone somewhere is buying this game. Same thing with the creation. Someone somewhere is buying them and people are making careers off of it. It's not just money manifesting out of nowhere. Same with 76. They're just putting content in there to get more players in there to make more money. So I like that Bethesda is actually finally starting to do some sensible things with the Fallout brand. And by that, I mean just synchronizing content with big moments in the brand. Like, a lot of fans have been asking for this for a while. I always bring up the Great War Day stream. I'm glad they're finally doing that. That's something we've asked for since before Fallout 4. And what is this big update, you may be wondering? It's likely a map expansion. People have been digging into the PTS and have noticed some changes, in particular, a bridge that is completely evolving. And when people look at how this bridge is changing and where it can lead to, folks then looked at the real world map, and a lot of people think we're going to Ohio. In my opinion, the best update we've got for Fallout 76 since Wastelanders was the map expansion. So more map expansion is great, but to go to Ohio makes me think that it could be a whole new map, like a whole new zone, and not like what we did with the pit where it's like a shoot 'em up zone. I'm talking like a legit open zone to explore, find new quests in, like the thing that, again, we wanted from 76 so badly, especially since we know it's finally going to start getting native versions for next-gen consoles, updated. Like, they're putting resources into this game that they previously couldn't. So I think that is going to be the big update. Whatever this map expansion is, it might not lead to Ohio. I don't want to get too carried away with that, but whatever this big update is, I think it synchronizes with that. And we've seen little bits of it in the past. One thing Juice actually points out in his video that I did not catch was that John Rush used Fallout 3 as an example in a separate interview of a game that 76 could explore, such as before the events of that game, thanks to its close proximity with the capital Wasteland. Now, he did emphasize that it's not him saying they're going to do it, but he also called what they're doing a megaton-sized update. And we do know, based on leaks I've covered years ago now, that they were at least prototyping and messing around with making DuPont Circle in Fallout 76. Obviously, it was never finished. It's not happening, but there's an upcoming Fallout 3 remaster. There's going to be a Season 3 of the Fallout TV show. If right now everything's been West Coast for Fallout, is the finale of Season 2 going to tease Season 3 going to, say, the capital Wasteland, right? Like, Bethesda's been giving OG fans a lot of love. I imagine at some point in the TV show, they want to transition across the waste and see what's happening on the East Coast. 76 now showing the willingness to synchronize updates of big moments in the Fallout franchise. Fallout 3 Remaster, Season 3 goes over to the Capital Wasteland. You picking up what I'm putting down here? It's a bit of confirmation bias, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like the stars align a bit here, but it's all just a feeling. At the end of the day, big updates on the way for both Fallout 4 and 76, and then we have Season 2 at the end of this year. So I imagine October and on, it's going to be going crazy for Fallout. You know, we're probably going to have trailers for the TV show. We're going to have news on the updates coming out. So I'm very excited to see what Bethesda is throwing in here as a big surprise for the Fallout franchise. But let me know what you're expecting. How do you feel about another Fallout 4 update? I'm keen to get your thoughts. Other than that, take excellent care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.